Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets behind corporate filings. Today, Seaport Entertainment Group Incorporated is dropping some news, and let's just say it is going to be a ride buckle up. We're diving into what Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. has reported on the 10th of November 2025, and it seems like they're giving us a peek behind the curtain at their latest performance. We want to know what is really going on with their money and their business right now. Before we get into the juicy details, if you love getting direct insights from these dense corporate documents without the jargon, make sure you subscribe. And hey, we've got a fantastic community over on Discord where we break down these filings even further. You can find the link in the description below. Okay, let's jump in. So this is what is called a Form 8K filing. Think of it as a special report where companies have to tell the public about big events that happen that shareholders absolutely need to know about. And right away, it is not just routine stuff. It is often about brand new information that could really affect how you see the company. Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. is filing this today, the 10th of November 2025. The date of this report is the 10th of November 2025. This tells us the day that the company is officially letting the world know about whatever important thing is detailed inside. So, where is Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. Incorporated? They are registered in Delaware, which is a very common place for companies to set up their legal home. The state of incorporation itself doesn't tell us much about the business, but it is part of their official identity. This number, 001-42113, is their commission file number from the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. It is like a unique ID for the company's filings with the government. And this other number, 99-0947924, is their IRS employer identification number. It is essentially the company's tax ID for federal tax purposes. Nothing too exciting here, just more official details. Now let's talk about where they're physically located. Their principal executive offices are at 199 Water Street, 28th floor in New York. That is the heart of the city, suggesting a significant presence in a major financial hub. If you needed to call them, their main phone number is 21-27-328-257. Again, just official contact points, not super critical for understanding the business story. Here we see how their stock is set up. They have common stock, which is what most people buy and sell. It has a very small par value of 1 cent per S-hair, pretty standard. The trading symbol for their common stock is SEG. So if you are looking them up on the stock market, you'll use SEG. And where is SEG traded? They are listed on the NYSE, which is the New York Stock Exchange. This means they are a publicly traded company, meaning their shares are available for anyone to buy or sell on a major stock exchange. This little checkmark tells us that Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. is considered an emerging growth company. This is a designation given by the SEC to companies that are smaller and have less of a financial history. It means they get some leniency and don't always have to follow the strictest rules right away, especially when it comes to accounting standards. And another checkmark here, this means that even though they could delay adopting new accounting rules to give them more time, they have chosen not to. They are opting to follow the latest accounting standards right away. This can signal a company that wants to appear more transparent or is confident in its ability to comply. This is where we get to the meat of the report. Item 2.02 is all about the company's performance and its financial health. This is what we're really here for. So what they're telling us is that on this very day, the 10th of November 2025, Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. released their official earnings report. This report covers their financial results for the 3 months that ended on the 30th of September 2025. This is their latest update on how the business is doing, and it includes a separate package with more details. They're saying these documents, the press release and the supplemental information, are attached to this filing. Think of them as the main event. We're going to focus on what those documents reveal. Now, we're moving to item 9.01, which is where they list all the exhibits, basically the supporting documents that are part of this filing. Here is exhibit 99.1, the actual earnings press release that Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. put out on the 10th of November 2025. This is where we'll find the headline numbers and the company's narrative about their performance. And exhibit 99.2 is the supplemental disclosure package. This usually contains more detailed financial tables and data that might not fit into a standard press release. This is where we'll dig for the really important numbers and trends. Finally, Exhibit 104 is the cover page data in a special format called Inline XBRL. This is designed to make it easier for computers to read and process the filing, which is essential for financial data analysis. Now let's talk about what is actually in those exhibits. This is where we find out how Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. has been performing. This is for the quarter ending the 30th of September 2025. Looking at their financial statements, we want to see revenue, which is the total money they brought in from their business operations during the quarter. We also want to see their expenses, how much they spent to run the business. The difference between revenue and expenses is their profit or loss. Unfortunately, this filing itself doesn't directly show the revenue numbers in a summarized table. It points us to Exhibit 99.1 and 99.2 for that. However, based on the typical structure of these filings, the earnings press release and indeed the supplemental disclosure package will highlight key performance indicators. We need to remember that Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. is an emerging growth company, which means they get some leeway. But by choosing not to use extended transition periods for accounting standards, they're signaling they want to be upfront with their financial reporting, which is a positive sign for transparency. Let's imagine what we'd find if we looked at those exhibits. We'd be searching for trends. Is their revenue growing or shrinking compared to the same quarter last year? A growing revenue usually means the business is expanding. More people are buying their products or services, or they're successfully raising prices. If revenue is shrinking, it could mean they're losing customers, facing tough competition, or their market is declining. We'd also be looking at their profits. Are they making more money than they're spending? Even if revenue is growing, if their costs are growing faster, their profit margins could be shrinking. This could happen if their raw materials are getting more expensive, or if they're investing heavily in new projects that haven't paid off yet. Consider the context. Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. is in the entertainment business. This sector can be very sensitive to consumer spending, economic downturns, and changing trends. Are they adapting to new forms of entertainment like streaming, or are they still heavily reliant on older models? Their strategy will heavily influence whether their financials reflect growth or decline. For instance, if their revenue from ticket sales is down 20%, that is not just a number, that is potentially 1 in every 5 customers they used to have choosing not to go to their events anymore. That is a significant loss of business that requires understanding why it is happening. Are their prices too high? Are competitors offering better experiences? Or are people simply spending their entertainment dollars elsewhere, like on video games or streaming services? The supplemental package, Exhibit 99.2, would likely contain deeper dives. We'd look for things like operating income, which shows profitability from core business operations before considering interest and taxes. We'd also want to see net income, the final bottom line profit after all expenses. Any big swings in these numbers are critical to understand. A sudden drop in net income, even with steady revenue, could signal a one-time charge, a significant increase in debt payments, or a costly lawsuit settlement. And what about cash flow? Generating cash is like the lifeblood of any company. Are they bringing in more cash from their operations than they're spending? If a company has good profits on paper but isn't generating enough cash, it could run into liquidity problems down the line. As an emerging growth company that is not delaying accounting standards, we'd expect their financial reporting to be fairly clear and up to date. If they were trying to hide something, they might opt for those delays. But by facing the music now, they're allowing investors to get a clearer picture of their current financial standing. Let's think about the story these numbers might be telling. If revenue is up and profits are up, it's a story of success. They're executing well, their products or services are in demand, and they're managing costs effectively. If revenue is flat or down, but profits are somehow up, that might indicate they've cut costs aggressively, which can be good in the short term. But it's not a sign of growing business if both revenue and profits are down significantly. Then we're looking at a company that is facing serious headwinds, and we'd want to know if they have a credible plan to turn things around. In the context of the entertainment industry, Seaport Entertainment might be facing challenges from digital disruption. Are they investing enough in new technologies and platforms to stay relevant? Or are they a legacy player struggling to keep up? Their financial numbers will be the ultimate scorecard. Now, looking at these results more broadly, Seaport Entertainment Group Inc., as an emerging growth company on the NICE, is in a position where their reported numbers can have a big impact on investor perception. The fact that they've chosen to adopt new accounting standards suggests a willingness to be transparent. However, without the specific numbers from the actual earnings release and supplemental package, we're speculating on the outcome. But this filing tells us that crucial information about their performance for the quarter ending the 30th of September 2025 has been made public. Investors should be looking closely at that data to understand the company's trajectory and potential. The key risks for a company like this would include evolving consumer tastes, increased competition, and the general economic climate affecting discretionary spending on entertainment. Their opportunities likely lie in leveraging new technologies, creating unique experiences, and expanding their reach into new markets or demographics. In conclusion, Seaport Entertainment Group Inc.'s Form 8 K filing on the 10th of November 2025 signals a critical update on their financial condition and operational results for the quarter ending the 30th of September 2025. While this report itself doesn't contain the detailed financials, it directs us to the earnings press release and supplemental disclosure package, which are essential for a comprehensive understanding. As an emerging growth company, their transparent adoption of new accounting standards is a positive indicator. However, the ultimate assessment of their strength and direction depends entirely on the specific financial metrics revealed in those attached exhibits. Investors should pay close attention to revenue trends, profitability, and cash flow to gauge the company's performance and its ability to navigate the dynamic entertainment industry. Alright, that is our deep dive into what Seaport Entertainment Group Inc. has put out today. What is your take on these filings and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this breakdown helped you understand what is going on behind the corporate jargon, hitting that like button really supports the channel, and make sure you subscribe for more decoded insights. And don't forget to join the conversation and get even more in-depth analysis in our Discord community, linked in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.